In this video, I would like to talk about para. Quite a few YouTubers have made videos on this topic, but I want to take it a little bit of different approach. Not as if it's good for you or bad for you, but kind of help you understand based on how I believe that the para has been built. So those of you that actually mechanically inclined, those that need details and understanding of an app, you guys can actually then understand how are they possibly predicting those tips, where that concept is coming from, and help you make those better decisions as you are taking these orders. So my understanding, first of all, based on me signing up, I had to create a login, have him log in into my Doordash account. And that's kind of, creates a little issue because right now I gave them access to Doordash information on my behalf. Which kind of information are they pulling? Truly, I do not know because I have no association with Para whatsoever. Never even spoke with any of them, with anyone on their team. But one thing what I can say is this. Para had been having issues with Doordash because certain information Doordash do not want Para to pull. Is Para still pulling the full amount payout and the tip amount that's being paid out from Doordash? I do not know. And if they are, in this video, I can explain how they can achieve that same information without doing so. See, when you receive an offer on Doordash app, there's a certain amount of information that Doordash automatically sends to your app. And I personally believe is more than enough to obtain the necessary information to provide to drivers on a Para side. And here's the information. You get mileage, you get pay, you get the name of the consumer, possibly destination address. I cannot confirm that or deny that. You're also, at that time, the app does know what is the base pay. Also, the difference between the base pay and the payout that they're showing you. They're also providing on the back end, they're probably providing the customer information as well as the order information. So taking all that information into account, you can estimate how much the dollar amount, or how much the order amount, and in my understanding, even on Apple phones, they actually even provide all that information as well about the order and the total amount. Now, here's something that I want to actually share about. If you get all that information, you get the restaurant name, you get the customer information, and you get the order information, and you start creating a log history. Let's say Para starts creating log history from every driver across the country that uses a Para app. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of YouTubers say, oh, earlier or later, they're going to charge you for that information, for using the app, maybe. But if Para is smart, marketing with advertisement can produce them a good revenue. That's one. Taking that information that they're obtaining from drivers, Doordash information, that information can be sold to third parties, and it can be very highly valuable. So, example, you get an order. An order has an offer, has a pickup location, has a customer information, and Para already has, let's say, 4 months of history on the particular customer, where he orders, what he orders, how much he spends on an order, and how much, because when a driver takes an order and completes it, now Para actually records what was the actual tip on that order. So now they also have a history of that customer, how much on average is he tipping. So when you get an order, They can match the customer. They can match then the customer's history to customer restaurant. Then they can match a similar order or exact same order and how much they paid in the past on a tip. And they take those averages and actually show you and say, hey, this customer particularly is paying $6 on a $6 tip on this particular type of an order. So without actually going to DoorDash and obtaining that tip actual information and saying, hey, customer paid $6 on this order, they can take the history and obtain the same information. All they need is how much the offer was, the customer, the restaurant, and what was ordered. Based on that information, they can obtain and deliver you that information. Now, my personal opinion, when they're actually going this far and they're collecting all this data and they actually share with you that data for free, don't they deserve something in exchange? Because see, if you personally wanted to actually create the data, that means you had to take a lot of orders, deliver a lot of orders in your area, create the history of customers. And the one thing is, you personally don't see the window that DoorDash sends with the customer information. So when you see an offer, all you see that actually DoorDash allows you to see on the screen is the dollar amount, the offer amount, the mileage, and the restaurant. You cannot see the customer information, even though that information is most likely being sent to your screen as well, but then it being masked. So my personal opinion is, if PAR actually does the way I see them would be doing it, they have a huge database on every single customer that have ever ordered with DoorDash, and driver has taken that order and delivered it. That means their tip prediction can be 90 to 100% accurate, because if a customer tips constantly $6, they will continue tipping $6. Let's say if the customer tips on a McDonald's order $4, but let's say from a Red Robin, they're tipping on $10. Now, Para has that information, and when the next order comes in from that customer, they can send out a very accurate tip prediction, because they already have that history. All they have to do is just pull that history and attach it to your screen. Now, if Para, instead of logging into DoorDash, they would actually take information from your screen, they would be 100% legit, and there is nothing DoorDash could actually do about it, because they're obtaining information from what's being sent to the phone. They're deciphering that information, pulling information from their database, and sending you their tip prediction. Is that exactly what's happening? If it is, my question then, why did they need a login information to your DoorDash account? So Para, if you're going to be watching this video, I would like to actually know the real truth. Hey, you don't have to provide it to you publicly. Maybe don't even provide information to you, but kind of think about it. If you have this data and you have access to this data, and you can now right now create a tip predictor without actually having to access DoorDash's database to provide that tip. That tip prediction, by only accessing information that you can obtain from the app. So all you need is just an access to an app on our phone by us giving permission in the permission section of the phone. Do you really need that login information? Do you really need to put us on a radar with DoorDash and say, hey, there is a third-party app accessing this driver's information? Because every single time that you guys access DoorDash information I'm pretty sure DoorDash has a way to log in and say, hey, this is a phone that's accessing. This is a third party that's accessing, because you guys are most likely accessing through API structure through a key. And DoorDash registering us right now says, hey, these are the drivers that are no longer going down the system. So why not create something where we wouldn't be flagged? Honestly, I have no problem paying for that information if that information is good and legit, and I'm not being flagged by DoorDash. So those of you out there that are driving, I would say, Para is a good tool to show you that hidden tip, or that tip that most likely will be at the end of the delivery. But at what cost? At what price? Because my understanding, I have not went into that detail, but my understanding, when you are gotten login and password to DoorDash and creating a back door and providing that back door to a third party, right now you're responsible for everything that the third party does with that back door. Not the party that's responsible. You right now are becoming responsible. And that's a problem that I have with Para. That's the only problem I have with Para. Everything else, hey, they have, with the amount of data that comes them nonstop from drivers using Para app, they have so much data. And I guess they want more. They have customers' information. Literally, if Para ever decide and say, hey, we want to launch a new app, or there is an app out there that wants to launch, they say they can come into that new app, or launch their app and say, hey, we have the data. We know exactly what customer wants, which customer are paying well, what they're ordering, their address, everything. And we can turn around and either sell it to you or use this information to launch an app and overnight become a huge giant that actually will have almost 100% equal competition with DoorDash, because whatever ever was taken on DoorDash with one of the drivers that had an Para app automatically became Para database, part of the Para's database. That information is huge. And if anything else out there that DoorDash would care about, let's say they would care nothing, at least they should care about leak of their customer base. Because now a third-party app, or now another app out there collecting and has a huge database. And first of all, for that information of collection of the database, I want to say salute to Para. Because now you guys truly have information through which you guys can battle DoorDash by launching a new app. And I suspect the information you have collected, you guys are not going to be ignorant with it, and actually you will put it to a good use by helping launch another app that actually will provide valuable information to drivers. The drivers will truly be able to compete and say to DoorDash, we are tired of you. We're going somewhere else that pays better. I am hoping that is where you guys are planning to go. I have considered launching an app, but I know there's other companies out there as well and guys that were considering as well. Find somebody that you believe in, that can actually provide. Team up with them if you guys are not willing to do it yourself. And let's even the playing field. Let actually go out. And we don't need those customers that actually that are not tipping at all, or tipping with $1 or $2. We don't need those customers. And I am pretty sure you guys can filter those out. Let DoorDash keep those customers. But those that are tipping good, those customers are suspecting a high-end, good quality service. And I believe there's enough of drivers in this country, across the country, that can provide to those customers that quality service. And you have the database of those customers. Let's make the difference. Let's offer customers a quality app that actually provides quality service to their clients. I am looking forward that the information that you guys have collected, the information you guys have built the data up, you guys will do the smart decision and will make the difference. Be blessed.